Hi, and welcome to my channel, Shades of Sage, where I discuss all things motherhood. My name is Tashima, and I am a doula and mama 3, and I'm currently expecting my 4th. So today I'm showing how I'm doing the blood glucose testing. So for this pregnancy, I have opted out of doing the general or standard blood glucose testing, which is done with the blood at like a LabCorp or LabQuest. So I opted out of doing that. Instead, I'm doing the finger pricks every single day. So my mom here is showing me how to do it. Again, this is her second time showing me actually. And I do have a short on my channel if you're interested in checking that out. But this video I left in real time just so you could see about how long it takes to set up everything and to get everything in order. So she's showing me how to do it here. She's actually going to perform it on me, and she's giving me some helpful and some useful tips along the way. So again, she is my mom, but she's also my doula, and she's an RN nurse. So I completely trust her with anything medical concerning me or concerning the baby. So she's just been an awesome resource, and she is a mother herself. There's 10 of us, so she has plenty of experience, and so pretty much anything pregnancy related, I go to her for advice. So it's great to have that extra support from someone that you actually trust. So that's my number. I think it was 2 hours after eating for that day. So after eating breakfast, that was my number. And now I am just going to write it down in my notebook because my OB did want to see like a record of all the times that I tested during the day. So my mom here gave me a very helpful tip, and she was telling me to write down what it was that I ate. So whenever I ate, 2 hours before or 2 hours when I would test, I would write down what I ate. And she was explaining that it would help just in case I got any really high numbers or any really low numbers, and then I would have a gauge on, what to eat or what to stay away from. So I did find that helpful actually, because when my OB looked over everything, she could see those numbers and the effects as well. What's today? The 21st or the 20th? Good morning. I am not decent, so I'm not going to show myself yet. I'm not decent yet, so I'm not going to show myself. But today is my first day of doing my blood glucose testing. So that's the finger pricks 4 times a day. So I have to do it when I wake up in the morning and 2 hours after each meal. So today is December 21st, right? So I'm just going to write that down. 21st, 2021. So my mom showed me how to do it last night. I'm going to try to do the first one by myself this morning. It is it 8? Yeah. 8 a.m. Or it's more like 8:10. So let me say 8:10. Okay. And now I have to get everything together. So let me just put this here. My little handy dandy bag with all of my instruments in it. Here's my meter. Here's my alcohol pad. Put it down, Ken. Okay. So I already washed my hands. There's the lancets there. Those are the test strips. So here's the meter inside of here. Okay, so this is what the inside looks like. Okay, these are lancets also. So there's 50 in here, and then I have additional ones right here. And then here is the actual device that you stick yourself with. I think I have to pick this up. Okay, well, my son opened it for me, but this is what it looks like opened. And now I have to find these are the ones that I needed more of. I'm going to go pick up the extra ones today. Mommy, but I do have enough, to get started for this morning. So this part this little gray piece is the actual needle. So that goes inside of this thing here. I'm going to put that in and twist. I'll put that in and twist like this. So now you can see the needle is there. So I have this. I need to push this down and put the lid back on it. Okay, so I pushed it down until I heard it click, and then I had to press this green button to get the finger prick. But now I'm gonna put in my testing strip into the meter. Again, here's my meter. I'm gonna put the testing strip in. Oh, which way? I think it goes in this way. And then the meter turns on once I put in the testing strip. If I put it in correctly. Okay. So now it is ready.
5.
Okay.
2.
And now I applied the blood at the top. So now I'm just gonna put this on my finger. This is my reading for this morning. It is 84. I had to squeeze out a little bit more blood for the test strip to work. Okay. And so that's, that's how much I have left over. So I'm just gonna clean that up, and then remember to take it 2 hours after I eat breakfast. Okay, so just wanted to record a quick update on how the blood glucose testing. I'm so tongue-tied. How I'm doing with the blood glucose testing. So that's the alternative form of doing the so normally when you're pregnant around like 26 weeks, 28 weeks, they'll have you go in and take this, drink this really sugary drink. You have to drink it, I think, within like about 5 minutes. And then they actually draw your blood before you take the drink, and then you have the drink, and then you wait like an hour, and then they draw your blood after. And so they're testing your sugar levels just to see if they go back down to normal levels within that hour period. And if it does, then you don't have gestational diabetes. If it's like beyond the limits, whatever limits that they set, then they'll have you try the 3-hour one, which is where you have to drink the sugary drink and then be tested every hour for 3 hours after the test. So I've never had to do that. I always had really good blood sugar levels during my pregnancy. So I'm not doing this because I have any issues with like my blood sugar. I'm just doing it because I wanted to kind of get the experience as a doula, just in case I have clients in the future who may have gestational diabetes or who want to opt out of taking a test, because there is some research that it can be harmful for baby or harmful for mom, especially women who are struggling with morning sickness like I do. Some women throw up the drink and then they have to drink it again, and they just can't get all of that sugar down. It is really sugary, but there's other ways to take the test. Like I've heard of the jelly bean test. I've heard some providers allow you to bring in whatever sugary drink you want, so like orange juice or grape juice, and you can use that in lieu of taking the test, taking the drink that the provider provides for you. It's usually done at like wherever you get your blood testing done. So for me, that's LabCorp. So that's where I would go. Yeah, just some updates about it. So this is I think it's my 7th day, if I'm not mistaken. And so I was instructed to test every day for 2 weeks, 4 times a day. So in the morning when I wake up before I eat anything. So that's like your fasting test. And, like kind of like a baseline for what you, normally have, or what you normally would start out as. And then after every meal. So 2 hours after every meal. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But as a pregnant person, I definitely eat more than 3 times a day, especially, the further I get along in my pregnancy, I get more hungry. Some days I'm like ravenous, like I can't eat enough food because I'm just literally starving, and my stomach will be growling, and I'll get too sick if I go too long without eating. So that has been kind of a struggle, I would say, because of course I want to do, everything right and by the book and everything. But sometimes I'm hungry before that 2-hour mark, but I don't want to eat anything within that 2 hours that I'm waiting to test again, because I don't want, like an inaccurate result when I do test again. So that has been a little bit of a struggle. I have to admit that I eat about probably 5 to 6 times a day. So I have breakfast, and then I'll have a snack, usually like an hour or two after breakfast. I'll take my nap, have lunch. Usually not anything in between lunch and dinner, but definitely something after dinner, like before I go to bed. So that's like 5 times a day that I really am eating. What else? It is a lot of parts. At least for my meter, I have I think it's called the One Touch meter, and all of my stuff was provided from my insurance, so I didn't have to pay anything out of pocket They just had to, like pre-authorize it. So I got everything and was able to do the testing. So you need the meter itself, which I think they call it, what did they call it? A glucometer. I think that's the name for it. And then you need the lancets, which are the actual needles that prick your finger. And then a device that the lancets go in is called the lancing device, I think it's called. And then alcohol pads to clean whatever finger you're going to use. But of course, wash your fingers first, or wash your hands first, and wash your hands after, obviously, because you do have blood on them. Oh, and the testing strips. So after I'm done, I'll have plenty of like supplies left over, which I'm just going to give to my mom because she's an RN nurse, and just she may have clients that need it or whatever. Like, I don't think I'm gonna need it after this. Like I said, I think today is my day 7, so I technically have 7 more days to go, but I have a prenatal appointment on Thursday, and I'm hoping that when I give them my information that I won't have to do it again, because it's tedious. I will say that. I will say it's tedious, and I totally sympathize for moms who have to do it, like, because they need to keep their blood sugar levels down, or gestational diabetes can be really dangerous for both baby and for mom. So yeah, I definitely sympathize. It's not something that I would enjoy doing for like the rest of this pregnancy. Like, I would hate that. But my numbers have been pretty good. They're most of the time under 100, and sometimes it's really low, which I also think contributes to me like sometimes just really feeling really faint, because I think my sugar sometimes just gets really low, like it just bottoms out, and I think that causes me to feel faint. And then so then when I am feeling like having those episodes, then I usually have to go eat something like super sweet to kind of bring my sugars back up. So like I said, I'm hoping that the doctor won't make me have to finish the whole 14 days out, but we'll see. I'm not really that concerned about it. I just don't want to do it, honestly. Even though I agreed to do it. But yeah. Oh, another thing. So I've been using this whole first week, I've been using my left hand. So I've been pricking my fingers on my left hand. I would say, at least for me, it feels like certain fingers hurt more than others. Like, I barely feel it when I use my thumb and my forefinger and my middle finger. And I feel like I get the most blood out of those fingers also as well. But I tried my ring finger and my pinky, and it hurt. It hurt. So I do not try those fingers again. I did move on to my right hand today. It's a little awkward, obviously, because I'm right-handed. So I'm using my left hand to prick my right hand. So far, so good. So I'll use my right hand. I'll prick my right hand for the rest of this, for however long I have to finish it. So yeah, that's just been my experience. Also, if you prick the middle of your finger, I feel like you don't get as much blood out either. So it's best to prick like the top of your fingers, or like the top sides of your fingers. So like up here, anywhere in this area. I don't know if I'm showing that right, but anywhere in this area. But if you prick down here, I don't feel like as much blood comes out, at least for me. Yesterday I had an episode where I had to prick myself like 6 times. I was so annoyed. But if you don't have enough blood, at least for my meter, if you don't have enough blood, you won't get an accurate result. Like, it'll tell you don't have enough blood and you have to use a new testing strip. If the meter's not ready to read the blood, then you kind of just waste the blood, and then you have to test again. And so that happened to me a couple of times yesterday. Well, a lot of times yesterday. And I was pricking my fingers, and it just seemed like no blood was coming out. I was like, I don't know, maybe I was dehydrated or something like that. So yeah, that was annoying. And I had to keep getting a testing strip, because once you use it, or once a testing strip has some blood in it, you can't use it again to test your blood sugar. So obviously I had to keep doing it until I got it right. But yeah, I think that's all. I am gonna do like a full video on this, because I just feel like it's important information for women who have gestational diabetes, or who may get it or whatever down the line in their pregnancy, so that they can have that information. And I think that is it. I know I said it was gonna be a short video, but okay. Yeah, I'm just working on some other videos right now. Looking forward to finishing out the rest of this pregnancy. So that is all for right now. Okay, so I just got out of my prenatal appointment. I am 30 weeks and 3 days today. No, 30 weeks and 2 days today. And so today's appointment, I had, just a regular standard prenatal appointment. So blood pressure, weight, we went over my lab work, and then I had to show the doctor my results for the blood testing. So today was technically day 10 for me, but she looked over everything and she said it looks good, so I don't have to continue with the glucose testing. So that's the finger sticks that I've been doing 4 times a day. I was supposed to do for 14 days, but she was like, everything looks good, so we can spare you the last 4 days. And I was like, yes. I was so happy because I just did not really want to do it anymore. It's just it's so tedious and annoying, if I'm quite honest. So I'm glad that everything looked good. I don't have gestational diabetes, and I don't have to keep doing the glucose testing with the finger sticks. So I'm happy about that. Everything looks well. Baby's doing well. Baby's doing great. And I have all of my appointments scheduled for the rest of this pregnancy, so that's really exciting. Like I said, I'm 30 weeks today, so now I'm meeting the OB every 2 weeks, and then once I'm 36 weeks, I'll be meeting the OB every single week until, you know, due date, until the baby is born. So that's really fun. I was telling one of the receptionists, I was like, it's going fast, but not fast enough. Like, I know I technically have about, you know, 9 weeks to go until I am full term, or considered full term, which is 39 weeks. My last birth for Kenzo, he was overdue, and I was just so miserable. I was so miserable. Like, once my due date came, I was so miserable. And you know, it wasn't what I expected, because my first was born at 33 weeks, so she was born super early. My second, he came literally the day before he was due, so he was right on time. I was like, okay. And then my last came at, I think it was 40 weeks and 6 days, so almost to that 41 week mark. But it was just, so at that point I was just over it. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen this time. I'm hoping that the baby comes you know, full term. But anytime after 39 weeks, like literally anytime after that, I'm ready to go. So I'm hoping that this baby cooperates. Any other updates that I want to say? I don't know. Continue doing my videos, I guess. That keeps me a little bit distracted from the timeline. So, you know, I have about, what, 9 more videos to do. And then of course I want to do like the laboring vlog. I want to do that because I feel like that would be something fun to look back on. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to think or to update. Oh yes, so I just want to say that for ladies out there who are pregnant, or, you know, will be in the future, if there is ever like a time where you feel like you're not comfortable with doing something, or you're instructed to do something by your doctor or whoever, and you don't feel comfortable with it, just know that there are options. There are alternatives to literally almost everything. So don't feel like you have to do something. If you know, have your reservations about it. Like I said, I did the blood glucose testing just so I can get that personal experience for like clients in the future, or, you know, just really wanted to see what my blood sugar levels were. It's not something that I really get done, you know, on a regular basis. So I just kind of wanted to have like that baseline guideline for myself. But if you're not comfortable with, you know, taking that drink, or if you're not comfortable with something else that some women don't like doing, I don't know, I can't think of anything else right now, but just know that there's alternatives. So even when it comes to like labor and delivery, so say you're like laboring and things aren't progressing, and like different things are presented to you. So for example, like breaking your water or starting Pitocin, you know the pros and cons of both. And there's one channel that I follow, which is actually, she helped me to have all my VBAC births, so I really love her channel. Sarah Levine, she said, just know that there's, you know, when they present you with something, ask them for the pros, ask them for the cons, ask them, you know, what would happen if we just do nothing at all right now. So just know that there are options, and don't be afraid to speak up for yourself. So yeah, I think that's all that I have. I'm rambling right now, but I'm at Wawa, so I'm gonna get me a treat because I feel like I deserve it. And I've been trying to eat super good while I was doing the blood glucose testing, because I didn't want anything to, like, you know, negatively affect my results or whatever. So I'm gonna get me and the baby a treat because we deserve this treat. And that's all for this video, so I will see you in my next one soon. Bye.